I want to share with you today is how to rock your online dating as part of your spiritual path. So I just finished a call with my community, and what's really curious is that a number of them actually found me via guys they were dating. And so when I'm working with a few people coaching them, we're looking at the online dating process. And I too have experience with the online dating process. And I turned my whole experience of online dating into the spiritual path, because my whole life is the spiritual path. Like, this is how we live in process. We live in liberation. We live from the joy of awareness. First of all, online dating, ditch any expectation or attachment to results, to outcome, and instead surrender into simply enjoying the process, right? So that's your first hack. Let go results orientation and open into process orientation, with the intention of enjoying whatever happens. And then recognize that if we are frequency first beings and we attract and repel and connect with other beings that have pieces of the puzzle for us, that are inviting us into growth, or inviting us into expansion, are inviting us to finally digest and dissolve the relational wounds from childhood, for example. If that's how the game is, then it's entirely possible to use your online dating to embrace that kind of joyful, I don't even like to use the word work anymore, that kind of joyful play. It's a play. It's a play of being human. How you play with online dating will depend on what's coming up for you on your path. So for me, what I noticed at one point in time when I was online dating was I was like, I can't tell if I'm attracted to somebody. I don't know if there's genuine desire in that direction. Sure, I can look at their stats and I can look at things like, are they conventionally good looking, or do they have a job I admire, or do they seem to be doing cool stuff, etc. Yeah, I could look at all that and make my decision whether to swipe left or right based on that. But I didn't get like a vibe in my body. And I started to realize, I was like, I reckon my body knows. What if I trusted that my body knows, and I only swipe whatever direction is a yes, I forget now. If I only swipe in that direction, if my body lights up in some particular way. And that's what I began to do. Instead of trying to figure it out in my head, which had been a habitual way of going through life, right? I started to, it sounds so obvious, right? But this is just an example. This was a breakthrough for me at the time. Started to listen to my body and my own natural aliveness, my own natural, turned onness, not necessarily even a sexual turn on, but more like a being lit up by life. And when I started to do that, things started to shift and move, and I started to find it much easier to connect with people. The other thing I started to do was really trust my own intuition and wisdom, because when I was on the apps, so often I'd be like, oh, I'll just give this guy a chance. No, I'll just but why don't I just go with what I know to be true? So not interested, no. And when I started to play that way, things started to become a lot clearer as well. And I remember, this one time where, and I'm big on, when I'm doing dating apps, I use voice messages, because there is so much that's transmitted through the voice. And it was a really quick, easy filter, because I could listen to a man's voice and immediately feel a genuine pull, or genuine, no, thank you. And I began to lean in and trust that. And that led to some really interesting experiences. Now, did I even meet someone that I went into a long-term relationship as a result of an online dating app? No. However, I did some incredible work through the process of online dating that allowed me to really meet and digest a whole bunch of things. And I had my heart broken at least once or twice. And I embrace the heart being broken, because heartbreak, it's just sensation, right? It's just sensation in the body. And a huge part of my body of work is being able to meet whatever arises, right? Including heartbreak. And what I began to recognize is that every time I allowed myself to open and I allowed my heart potentially to be broken, there was like an excavation of fear within the heart. And I became more grounded, more centered in the heart space, and is so incredibly beneficial. So this is the other thing I see with online dating, etc., is that people date from the perspective of trying to protect themselves, of trying to protect their hearts, of not, and I was just like, no, I'm like wholeheartedly, just go in wholeheartedly, fully present, embodied, heart wide open. And then it was just so much easier to discern and play the game. So Anything else I want to say on this? Mindset, and heart set. That's the thing. Like when you approach online dating as part of the path and you recognize that every single interaction is an opportunity to know yourself better and to dissolve that which you are not, to dissolve the conditioning. And every single interaction is an opportunity to clean up your relationship stuff so that you can be at ease and joyous and spontaneous and free, then it's a whole different game, because success is not about finding the one. Success is about being able to show up spontaneously, joyfully, free as you are, right? And it's not dependent on anything external. It's just an inside game then, and it's freaking amazing. I'm still single and rocking it, freaking loving it. And I haven't been on an app now for, I don't know, maybe 8 months. I kind of go on for a little bit and then I'll go off for a while. And what I find really interesting, maybe this last little piece, is that every time I come back on, I'm not the same person that was on last time. And so my experience of the app changes because I have shifted and changed. And my intentionality for going on often changes as well. So it is this fun game I play for sort of 2 months at a time, of doing the thing. It is a way of living the path. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to start talking now. But point is, don't hate on the online apps. Recognize that they are just another great tool for awakening and liberation, and use them for your benefit.